He only has a few more days left in office, and for President Barack Obama, that means there's only a few more nights to rest his head on a pillow here inside the White House. It's one of the closest races in the country, one that could shift the balance of power in the United States Senate. And on Monday, here behind me at the KDKA TV studios in Gateway Center, it was the first of two debates between Pat Toomey and Katie McGinty. These Point Park University shuttles will typically take students to Oakland on any given day or the waterfront on the weekends. But today, Election Day 2016, they're taking students straight to the polls. Washington, D.C. isn't only the nation's capital, it's also a popular tourist destination for visitors from around the world. And many of them say that Americans aren't the only ones keeping tabs on the 2016 presidential election. Students typically spend their Sunday mornings sleeping in or with a cup of coffee. But students in the Point Park University Honors Program began their Sunday with cups of water. Hi, welcome to the Center for Media Innovation at Point Park University. I'm Josh Croup. In 1993, Scott Schubert joined the Pittsburgh Bureau of Police. Now in 2017, Schubert is the new leader of the Pittsburgh Police. The 24-year veteran of the police force took over the department in the interim in November and was recently sworn in as the permanent police chief. He's also a Point Park University graduate and joins us now in the Center for Media Innovation. Chief, thanks so much for coming back to your alma mater.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for the invitation.
Let's talk about your Point Park days a little bit. Coming here for your bachelor's in 2008, sticking around for your master's in 2010, and we couldn't get rid of you, so coming back as an adjunct professor, teaching some Homeland Security courses since 13. Why did you come to Point Park initially, and what kept you around? Hello, we're now joined in studio by State Senator John Rafferty. He's the Republican nominee for Pennsylvania's Attorney General. Senator, thank you for coming on the program.
My pleasure, Josh. Happy to be here with you.
Well, first of all, why did you want to run for Attorney General? The office hasn't had a lot of positive headlines in recent months. Why do you want this position? The transition has begun, and his moving day is just around the corner. President Obama has occupied the White House since 2009, and in January, Donald Trump will take over in the Oval Office. Obama's time in office has pleased some.
He's been a great president. He's going to go down as one of the great presidents.
But not others.
Just a little disappointed on kind of what he promised.
According to Real Clear Politics, President Obama has a 53.9% approval rating. George W. Bush had a 22% approval rating when he left office in 2009.
I haven't agreed with all his policies, just to be totally honest, but I think he's a good guy and I think he's doing his best for the country.
Obama has a few more weeks left in office to finalize his presidential resume. On that resume, capturing Osama bin Laden, Obamacare, normalizing diplomatic relations with Cuba, and decreasing unemployment rates, now below 5%. President Obama has not yet closed the detention facility at Guantanamo Bay, a move he pushed for while campaigning in 2008. He also hasn't made significant advances on gun laws, something one Florida man says would have been possible with a different Congress.
He could do more if Congress would work with him and to get them more accomplished.
President-elect Donald Trump will work with a Congress that has a Republican majority in both the House and Senate. His presidency begins on Inauguration Day, January 20th, 2017. From Washington, D.C., reporting for Point News, I'm Josh Croup. Family, flowers, and fun. That's how Shiloh Simonson will remember her senior day. It's a day that comes around every season that signals the beginning of the end of college careers. This year, 4 seniors and their families, all with flowers, smiles, and a day of memories that will last a lifetime.
People do so much to make us feel special, and I'm just going to remember just I don't know, the whole walking out ceremony. It was really awesome.
Senior Day Saturday came one game after a crushing 5-set loss to conference rival Rio Grande. But Point Park bounced back, giving their coach one more memory with a Senior Day sweep of Cincinnati Christian.
I have great memories on the court with them, in practice, traveling on the bus, in restaurants, and that's what it's about, and I'm confident that each and every one of them, as they move on in life, they're going to do well.
The days that senior Emily Meng has left on the court with fellow senior Nikki and Cortano are dwindling, but their friendship is only beginning.
Just having her at the net and having her always there to smile at me, so probably miss that.
I'm definitely going to miss all the inside jokes on the court and all the behind-the-scenes stuff people don't see, like the hotel rooms on trips and like the bus rides and just spending time with the team. I'm really going to miss that.
Reporting for Point News, I'm Josh Croup. Senior Nikki Jones gives up sleeping in one Sunday every September, and it's all for a good cause. She and a dozen other Point Park Honor students arrived along the Boulevard of the Allies at 7 a.m. Sunday to prepare a water station for the 39th annual Great Race. Jones says waking up early to volunteers with the Great Race isn't a burden, it's tradition.
This is one of my favorite events that we do at Point Park. I think that it's really great. A lot of the freshmen in the honors program come out and pass out water. It's a great bonding experience, as well as, we're really thankful. The runners are very thankful for having us here.
Nearly 14,000 runners passed through Point Park's campus that was near the finish line at Point State Park. There were multiple water stations along the course, and Point Park Station was the last of the race. Running and cheering have always been part of this tradition, but so has the exchanging of support from the volunteers to the runners and from the runners back to the volunteers.
You don't really expect people to say thank you because you're just, it's something simple as giving them a cup of water, but it means a lot to them.
It's good. Everyone's really encouraging, and it helps you just push harder.
Now, while Jones is nearing the end of her race as a Point Park student, she says the honors program will continue to volunteer with the race long after her graduation. Reporting for Point News, I'm Josh Croup. Tonight, a historic conclusion. Will Hillary Clinton become the first female president in U.S. history? Or will outsider Donald Trump shake up the political establishment?
U.S. Senate.
Rookies at the polls. It's the first presidential election for so many students. Tonight, hear what they have to say about this historic election. And Alex, we do now have some more results to give you right now. We can confirm that Hillary Clinton is going to take a few more states here. She's going to claim the 3 electoral votes in Delaware. The Democratic nominee will also take 10 from the state of Maryland, 11 from Massachusetts, 14 from New Jersey, 3 in D.C., and 4 in Rhode Island. 97 for Clinton. So that's our latest electoral vote count that we have here. So that was a lot to digest.
Yes, it was.
And we want to talk now with Alex Austin. Alex attended the Democratic National Convention as a pledged delegate for Bernie Sanders, a very popular candidate among Point Park students. He's since thrown his support behind Hillary Clinton and is also the founder of Burgers for Bernie. That's a grassroots organization in Pittsburgh that was dedicated to electing Bernie Sanders as president. They're the students that act as the voice for all students. Tonight, they tell you why they deserve your vote. Welcome to UView's Live 2017 United Student Government Debate. We're just coming off a historic election season, but now it's time to focus on an election a little closer to home. Good evening, I'm Josh Croup. Tonight, you'll meet the students vying to be your voice for the upcoming academic year. You'll hear directly from the United Student Government candidates for Vice President and President. We'll also introduce you to the students running for Senate positions. Be sure to follow along with us all night on social media at UView Television with the hashtag USGDebate. You can submit your questions to the candidates, and we may use some on the show. We begin tonight with the 2 students running for Vice President. First, Christopher Chandler, a sophomore political science and screenwriting major, and Davian Herron, a sophomore musical theater major. The candidates will now have 90 seconds to introduce themselves and make their opening remarks. We begin with Mr. Herron, who won a coin toss before the program. Thanks, guys. March came in like a lion, but didn't go out like the lamb we expected. Some showers expected this weekend as we wrap up March. Friday, some thunderstorms expected on Friday, 56 degrees. Moving into the weekend, we begin April on Saturday. This is no April Fool's Day prank. 61 degrees and showers all weekend long. Moving into the beginning of the week, though, on Monday, 59 degrees. The temperatures rise as we move into the week. 70 degrees by Wednesday and sunny. Jess, Washington had a busy Monday. Continuing with Monday, the GOP announced a new health care plan, and the president signed a new travel ban executive order. House Republicans released their plan to repeal Obamacare after fighting the law for 7 years. House committees began voting on the legislation Wednesday. The new plan eliminates fines on people without health care. It also will maintain coverage for those with pre-existing conditions and allow anyone under 26 to stay on their parents' plans. A political battle in Congress is now expected. The House must now convince both chambers of Congress to overhaul Obamacare. But there are still differences within the GOP as to the extent of the changes. And not moving swiftly to change and replace the Affordable Care Act could anger Republicans in the country as we approach the 2018 midterm elections. In other international news, the U.S. has deployed an anti-missile system in South Korea. It's a move that China strongly opposes, citing a threat to its security. It comes one day after North Korea tested 4 ballistic missiles in the Sea of Japan. North Korea says it was practicing to hit U.S. military bases in Japan. Defense Secretary James Mattis encouraged the South Koreans to deploy the system during a February visit. It's called THAAD, the Terminal High Altitude Area Defense System. Officials say it could take months for it to become fully operational. Now a story that could affect some commuter students. Prep work is officially underway in the Parkway North for a substantial construction project. It's a 2-year project that will focus initially on the southbound lanes leading to the city on I-279. The construction will affect about 53,000 motorists that use the highway between Camp Horn Road and the north side. PennDOT says it will close the HOV lane for both the inbound and outbound commutes to work on the road. Construction on the outbound lane will begin in 2018. The total construction area stretches 8.5 miles on the nearly 30-year-old roadway. It includes concrete patching, ramp and HOV repairs, guide rail replacements, and more. Work on the southbound lanes will last weekdays from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. They say all good things must come to an end, and for members of the Point Park women's volleyball team, the end is only a few sets away. Hi, welcome to the Pioneer Spotlight. I'm Josh Croup. Here on the Pioneer Spotlight, we're going to put into focus Point Park University athletics teams, coaches, and student athletes every week. Today, we put into the spotlight Pioneer's track and field head coach, Kelly Parsley. Kelly, thanks for joining us on the program. Hi, I'm Josh Croup. Welcome to the Pioneer Spotlight, where each week we feature a Point Park Pioneer team, athlete, or coach. And this week we got a full house. The couch is full. This week we have 3 representatives from the Point Park baseball team. We have down the line head coach Lauren Torres, shortstop Cole Johnson, and right fielder Edberg Dominguez. A full house. Thanks to everyone for coming down. Coach, we'll start with you. 19-7 so far to open up the season. Winners of 10 straight, 13 of your last 14. How's the team going so far?
Tony Stockman is the head coach for Ohio Christian. He's in his 5th season. Gabe Bouban, of course, leading the trail for the Pioneers. Long 3 from Mann, and he misses long.
Pioneers were hitting on all cylinders to start last night. Jalen Mann drained a couple of threes early and really sparked the Pioneers early.
12 of his 16 came in that first half, and that early start is a big reason why the Pioneers were able to stay in the game late and come out with a victory. You think that IU East maybe underestimated the Pioneers going into that, and they came in a little confident and cocky, and deservedly so. They already beat the team once. It's a late shot on the shot clock. That one looked close. Hearn just missing, ringing around the rim, and out. 2-0, 2 minutes in. Rajapale, no look pass backwards to Mann. He's going to bring it back out. Kicks it out to Bates, and Rajapale now at the top of the key. Drives left side. Quick stop and shoot. Couldn't get it off the glass to fall. Was able to separate himself from Hearn. Now he brings it up the floor. Little bump from Rajapale, no foul. Sliding those feet is Hearn. He did it the last possession, no travel call. And here a wide open jumper from Hoover. But Gary couldn't connect. Rajapale, another no-looker to Art. Kicks it out for Bates. Back over to Christian, and Bates now pulls up from 3 feet. Back from the line, and he connects with his first 3 of the day. Pioneers on the scoreboard 2.5 minutes in. Point Park trailed 65-22 at the half. Last time these two teams met. Bates kicks it over for Mann up top. Back to Bates. Dribbles in between defenders, and wide open 3 for Mann. Drains it. Jalen Mann's really come alive in these last couple games. He only had 2 points in the first half.
5 so far in the second half, not even 2 minutes in.
That's the Jalen Mann you want to see down inside. Hoover goes up to the rim. 47-42 now. Rajapale over to Plez. Taking it inside, bounce pass to Mann. Takes another 3, he's feeling good. That one a little short though, off the front end of the rim. Needed a little more arc on it. Hearn crosses up, Rajapale up top of the key, swings it over to Baker. Tries to feed it past TJ Bates. Intended target was Marquise Jackson, but Bates doing a good job all day. Him and Roberts have been covering Jackson. They've held him to single digits in the score column. Only 2 in the first period, first half. Hearn hands it off backside, Baker. Bounce pass over to Jackson. Gets a screen away from Bates, and he's going to dump it off. Hoover down inside. Floater goes off the back iron, no go.